Welcome to the Rotary Times Show, a public service program presented by Rotary District 7610, Virginia. On our programs, we talk with Rotarians and community leaders and discuss how Rotary International builds partnerships to support local, national, and world communities. I'm your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson from the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. The success of a Rotary Club is dependent on the club president. They lead, inspire, motivate, and connect their clubs with communities around the world. Joining me remotely is Rotarian Robin Hatfield, who is the president of the Rotary Club of Northern Neck, Virginia for the 24-25 Rotary year. Welcome, President Robin, to the Rotary Times Show.
Thank you, Deborah, for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I hear you guys are doing some wonderful things down there in the Northern Neck. So we would love for you to share up here in Northern Virginia so we know what you're doing, you know what we're doing, and we can meet in the middle and do it all together.
Sounds great.
It's all good. Let's get started. I oftentimes start with having our guests to give our audience a bit of a background on you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to join Rotary and then ultimately serve as the club president.
Okay. Well, my late husband was a Rotarian in White Oak, Maryland when I first met him. And so I got involved with Rotary at that time. His father was a Rotarian in Toledo, Ohio, 47 plus years of perfect attendance. So that was inspiring for sure. And then in 2008, I believe it was, I joined the South Anne Arundel County Club in Maryland and got involved with them. I became their secretary and served that for 10 years. And then moved up, I sort of leapfrogged into president because there was a couple of vacancies. And then in 2018, I moved to the Northern Neck and served as president in the, I believe it was 21-22 year, and then currently serving.
Oh, wow. So you, am I hearing you correctly? Did I hear you say you have served 3 terms in the office of the presidency?
Yes.
That's wonderful. We need to reach out to you when we do CPETs because you would be a true asset to help those new presidents coming in get a better understanding of expectations. So congratulations to you. You talk about your father-in-law and the absentee thing, which they don't do anymore, which is too bad because that was a really nice feature. But still, that is amazing. So congrats to you on all those fronts. You're a real legacy here.
Thank you.
Yeah. For those who might not be familiar, how would you define or describe Rotary? And then what would your community say your club is noted for?
We like to say that we're a group of individuals, like-minded individuals who do good things in the community and around the world. Our Rotary Club is really not famous for, but we have had a very nice fundraiser, which is a day on the water and the boats, and it's fantastic. It's grown every year.
Oh, wow, that sounds exciting. You'll have to hit me up sometime and invite me down. In fact, when we think about Northern Virginia and Northern Neck, where are you proximity-wise from Northern Virginia?
Well, we're about 2.5 hours away from Fredericksburg.
Okay.
All the way down Route 3 until you almost get to the bay. We're surrounded by the Rappahannock River on one side and Potomac on the other.
It's nice. Must be very pretty down there. And with the weather changing on the water, it should be very nice right about now. So, yes, but I don't know. It might not be sometimes when it's windy, that's a problem too. So, yeah.
Correct.
Let's talk about signature projects that your club is hosting. What are some things you've worked on this year or currently doing right now?
We deliver Meals on Wheels. We collect food for the local food bank. We provide 2 scholarships to local high schoolers. We have Northumberland County and Lancaster County seniors. And then we provide 1 scholarship for someone going to our local community college.
Wonderful. Well, and thank you for not forgetting about that local community college. Sometimes they get lost in the fray when all the kids are rushing off to, universities and colleges. We forget about those local community colleges that are doing some phenomenal things, getting young people ready for those colleges and universities. So that's great. You talked about your projects. How do you decide, how do you identify projects in your community? Do you all engage in that community assessment that Rotary often asks clubs to do?
We have done that in the past. I think our community is small enough that we sort of circle back around to some of the same folks all the time. But we also do ask around, check to make sure that what their theme is all about, or their mission is all about, that it connects with us. So we also invite them to come and talk to us about what they do, and to come back and let us know how things have gone after we do assist them.
That's wonderful. I was going to ask you about your impact. Could you give us an example of maybe a community initiative that you engaged in, and what was the impact on the community?
I think there's a nonprofit that has sort of, the food bank for one. Mm-hmm. The food bank, when they started pre-COVID, was over 250,000 pounds of food. Now they're down to like a third of that. So we try and do things like go and help pick corn, or anything we can do to resupply that food bank.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's needed. You're probably going to see it a lot more when that happens. How many residents are in your general area, would you say?
Lancaster County is the largest county. Kilmarnock is the largest town in Lancaster County, and it runs about 10,000.
Okay. So that's a sizable number of people that you have to meet, assist in helping to meet their needs.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing that. Let's talk about leadership. You've been president now a couple of times. So what has that taught you personally or professionally by leading one of our clubs, or as an organization?
Well, I was never a leader coming up through school. I didn't join a lot of clubs. But I think Rotary, through their Rotary Leadership Institute, really helped me. It made me more relaxed, look to our members for help, and which they really do. I mean, if I call for any assistance whatsoever, members step up right away, no problem.
That's good leadership. Yeah. So you are a Rotary Leadership, an RLI grad?
Yes.
Yes, well, congratulations. That's huge. Rotary's motto is service above self. How does that principle show up in your club's activities?
I think members, at whatever I call and ask them to do, they step up. Whether it be going to pick corn for the food bank, or cook breakfast for the campers down at our YMCA camp. And it's always fun. We just have fun doing it.
Okay, so there's a strong sense of wherever there's a need, we go there and take care of it.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. What's been maybe a couple of your most meaningful moments as president?
I think inducting a new member is so nice. Just, seeing their anticipation of what's to come. Or giving a Paul Harris pin to someone. I think one of the most awesome moments was when I attended an RI convention in New Orleans. Seeing all the people from around the world was just amazing.
And from that moment on, you came back home as a true Rotarian, right?
Exactly.
That's what always happens when you attend a Rotary convention. You come back you leave as a member of Rotary, and you come back as a true Rotarian.
Yes.
Just from that experience of having individuals from all around the world, like-minded, individuals from all around the world. That's always good. Will you be attending any of the international conferences over the next couple of years?
No, only because my son has recently, well, I say recently, it's been there a year, moved to Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
And so I will be going to visit him a couple of times.
Yeah. So you've got your international travel planned already.
Yes, I do. And hopefully, go to a meeting there. They have a really neat Interact club there.
Oh, wonderful. That would be awesome to see how they interact with their Interact clubs there as opposed to how we interact with ours here in the States. We'll be anxious to hear about that when you come back. So keep us posted on that. That'd be great.
I will.
All righty. We're going to take a short break and be right back and talk more with President Robin. Please stay with us.
We've been here before, fighting the problems that fight back, because we see opportunities where others see obstacles. We're change makers and problem solvers, uniting over 1 million minds to address complex issues facing communities around the world, including yours. We're working together as partners and professionals while making friendships that last a lifetime. We're Rotary, and there's no limit to what we can do.
Welcome back to the Rotary Times. We're here talking with Rotarian Robin Hatfield, the president of the Rotary Club of Northern Neck, Virginia, for the 24-25 Rotary year. Oh, you have really given us a lot to think about in terms of the kinds of things that you all are involved with. But you mentioned something that I'm truly interested in, and that's new members. You get great joy when you, bring someone in and install them and watch another hand that can support the gift of service, to our communities. So talk to us about how someone can consider, if they choose to, consider maybe joining your club.
Well, first of all, I think we just explained what Rotary is, the largest service organization in the world. But we do so many good things right in our own community. And if someone said they maybe want to join and give back, that's the main reason that we communicate and do things, in our local community. We invite them to breakfast, have them come, see if it's a fit, maybe join a service project, and go from there.
There you go. Get them engaged and let them decide. I love that. But I also love invite them to breakfast. It's always that food and fellowship, right?
Yes.
Now, that's about recruitment. Let's talk about retention. How do you keep those Rotary, you get them, they come in, they're excited, they're ready to go. How do you keep them engaged?
Well, first of all, our membership application asks which committee they would like to work on. And so we focus on that instead of just making them jump in, feet first. I think that's really helped people feel that they're not overwhelmed from the beginning. Also, just have socials and keep them, interested in what's going on. Don't delve too deep into anything, just have fun.
Okay. So the first year is just about getting to know Rotary and each other, which I think is nice. Do you do yourself as president, do you have like some of those fireside chats with the members quarterly just to kind of talk about what they'd like to do?
Well, we don't do it that often, but yes, I do it. I think it's very important. As a matter of fact, the newest member who we just inducted last week, I sat down with him and just went over everything that, well, I let him ask questions, but, gave him some information so that he didn't come in thinking something was one way and it turned out to be a different way.
Yeah. So you check in, especially with your newer members. Do you partner your newer members with a mentor?
Yes, absolutely.
And how do you think that works?
Well, I think it's great because otherwise, again, you don't want them just sort of drifting out there with no one to really, be afraid to ask questions. If the mentor doesn't know, then certainly they're going to be able to find out the answer.
Yeah, I think that's I love that. Love hearing you say that, so they don't have to just kind of try to figure out how to navigate through. They have someone they could talk to or turn to about how to make that happen. Someone who's been in it for a while. Yeah,
Exactly.
That is huge. Rotary is known for its global work. In fact, we were just laughing about the RI conferences or the conventions around the world because we're known as an international organization. Talk to me about what your club does from that perspective internationally.
A long time ago, and I say before my time here, they started sponsoring an orphanage. Well, it's not really an orphanage; it's a open arms home, and it's for abandoned, orphaned, or abused children. And this is in South Africa. Right now, they are housing 68 children. Some have been there long enough, and we've seen them graduate from college. It's very rewarding.
So how do you support the orphanage?
Sometimes our international chair actually goes there and makes sure that, everything is copacetic.
Okay.
We stay engaged with our partner there, and they send us pictures, they send us reports. I mean, it's heartbreaking, but it's so rewarding.
So you support them through the educational initiatives, or just through
Educational and funds.
Okay.
Yes.
For clothing, anything, just their well-being.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And these are young people ages?
From infants to high school.
Wow. That is amazing. That would be rewarding, and I'm a former educator, so that's rewarding for me to even hear that you all are reaching out. What happens after the kids graduate from high school there?
Well, at that point, they have a home, or they have, if they go to higher education, of course, their housing would be there.
Do you all do something to support the transition from, high school to higher ed?
No, not at this time.
Not at this time. Okay, yeah. Maybe it's something in the future that you could think about. Because I know you just said you all do scholarships here. I didn't know if that was something you do there as well. But that is really amazing. And that infancy stage, how many are in the orphanage? How many students?
Well, like I said, right now they're housing 68 kids.
68.
68. I think that's probably the highest since I've known about it.
Okay. Wow. That's interesting. And they are educated on site, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good to hear. Well, keep up the good work. Maybe we can get some of those folk once they graduate. Maybe they even consider coming here for college. Yeah, that's always an option. How is your club supporting the next generation of Rotarians? Do you all do anything with your local elementary, middle, or high school students, or community college?
Well, we don't have an Interact Club. This is something that we would love to have happen. But we are in the early stages of forming a Early Act Club.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah, we have a member who has 2 young children, and he says all the time, Carmen reads the Rotary magazine every month. And so she's going to be our first president for sure.
There you go. Well, you know, our district governor, her children are in an Early Act program out in the Warrenton area. So maybe you could use them as a resource to chat, you know, talk to, see how they're doing, how they're setting. I'm sure it would be a little different because the areas are different, but maybe some things that you could learn from them as well.
Absolutely. Amelia and I have talked about it. Yes.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, I'm excited to even get out to see that one because, as I said, the Early Act, I think that's amazing. They have these young ones, you're teaching them about leadership now, you know, very early. What do you think the future looks like from your perspective in terms of attracting younger members and more diverse members to Rotary?
Well, I think Rotary is stronger than ever, really. I think that with all the new programs coming along, you know, the virtual, I think it's good that it's attracting new members, younger members, especially young professionals. I think it's on track to be even better and better.
Are you all receiving the contacts from those interested in the club? It comes via email. It drops in my inbox about every other day, where people are looking and they contact RI, and RI gets a sense of where they live, and then they send that contact directly to your area. Do you get those?
I do not,
Okay.
but we also have a lot of part-time residents here.
Oh, okay.
This being a sort of a second home, river home kind of community. I don't get a lot of those.
Okay. I just find that to be interesting because they're dropping in so frequently. I just kept saying, where are these coming from? Where are these coming from? But they've been good leads, you know, that have come. So if that's something you may want to check into just to kind of get some leads, some additional leads for the future. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, great.
Yeah. What would you want the greater community to know about the heart of Rotary and the impact your club is making in the Northern Neck region?
Well, I'll just go back to, we just love being together, helping out the community. You know, our impact, I guess, is the money that we raise and give away. Give away, I don't mean to like give away, but to nonprofits that definitely deserve the help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, you're absolutely right. How can viewers get in touch with your club if they wanted, they see this and they say, you know what, I think I might be interested in visiting the Northern Neck Club?
Well, we have a website they can visit. Our local newspaper advertises our meetings and talk about our featured speakers. And we're on social media too.
Oh, wonderful. So you got a great PR or PI person that's doing a great job.
We do.
Yes, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out today and accepting the ask to come on and share the Northern Neck Club with our audience. It's wonderful, and I just can't wait to hear more about some of the things that you all are doing and hear your trip to Amsterdam, because I think that's going to be unique as well, and visiting that new club that's over there.
Yes.
I don't know if it's new, but visiting a club that's there. I think that will be amazing. So thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you, Deborah.
For the Rotary Times program, I am your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson from the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. You are welcome to join us at a Rotary Club in your area for either breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a service project. You can find a club near you by looking us up on the internet. Many clubs are hosting meetings in person, virtually, or in some hybrid format. You only need to look us up for details. Remember, our time is your time, and it's time well spent. Please join us for our next program as we continue to celebrate Rotary's 118 years of service above self. Funding for this program is made possible by the generosity of Rotarian Lynn Heinrichs, State Farm Agency, McLean, Virginia.